Khadse sir, if he is ready. We can wait for 2 more minutes, I think.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Uh, Padma ma'am,
Yes, sir.
shall we start?
Yes, Pal ma'am.
Atul sir, can you hear us now? Actually, Atul sir just messaged me that he is unable to speak or hear anyone.
उनको co-host करना पड़ेगा.
नहीं कर दिया है सर,
किया
कर
है,
दिया
किया
है.
है सर, किया है।
फिर भी प्रॉब्लम.
Just 1 मिनट में आप इनसे बात करें।
Atul sir, are you able to speak now?
We are not able to listen your voice.
We are not able to hear you, sir.
Atul sir, can you hear us, sir, right now? Good morning, Atul sir. Atul sir, can you hear me?
Atul sir, are you able to hear us now? Girish, are you able to hear anything?
Sir, unmute kara, sir.
Yes, ma'am. I'm able to hear your voice, but not Atul sir's voice.
I think Atul sir, okay, now we can see you, Atul sir. Try to speak.
Able to hear.
Mobile वरून
Good
join
morning,
झालं.
Atul sir. Good
Good
morning,
morning.
Atul sir. We are not able to hear you,
Sir,
sir.
unmute.
You are not audible.
Okay, my bad. I'm audible
Yeah, now
now. I'm
you're
able to
audible.
hear
Yeah, now you're audible. Yes.
you.
Okay. Shall we start?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Okay.
So, a very warm good morning to our distinguished key resource person, Mr. Atul Khadse, sir. Dr. Payal Thaure, madam, head of the department, postgraduate teaching department of law, Rashtrasanta Tukadoji Maharaj, Nagpur University, my dear colleague, teachers, and all participants. Postgraduate teaching department of law, Rashtrasanta Tukadoji Maharaj, Nagpur University, is organizing a national webinar on one of the trending topic, cryptocurrency and legal challenges. With the unique developments and advancement in technology sector in India, especially during the challenges posed by the rapid spread of COVID-19, the fintech sector has shown promising results. Recently, our finance minister, Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman, announced a new tax system on cryptocurrency, which has been fueled largely by curiosity and popularity among the citizens of India in cryptocurrency, like Bitcoin, Ripple, etc. All these cryptocurrencies are based on a large number of people have started now investing a noticeable part of their time and money in this virtual currency. So cryptocurrency is nothing but it is a medium of exchange that is encrypted, decentralized, and digital. So there is a huge legal issues of a crypto also. So there is no central authority to determine the value of a cryptocurrency. Other issues are like problem of tax evasion, money laundering, phishing attacks faced by the users, etc. So to throw light on this gray area of cryptocurrency, we are having with us today's esteemed resource person, Mr. Atul Khadse sir. Sir, Senior Manager Legal at L'Oreal, Mumbai. So thank you all participants. Over to you, Kulil.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, sir. Good morning, Atul, sir. Now I call on Dr. Girish Kulkarni, sir, to convey his welcome address for today's resource person, Dr. Advocate Atul Khadse, sir. Over to
Am I
you.
audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
So, respected Dr. Atul Khadse, sir, Senior Manager Legal at L'Oreal Mumbai. Then Dr. Payal Thaure, ma'am, Head PGTD of Law, RTM Nagpur University. All my colleagues and participants. Today, at this juncture, we have organized the national webinar on the cryptocurrency and the legal issues. I welcome all of you for this session. Here we are, our Honorable speaker will deliver the lecture upon the current and very relevant topics of crypto coins and currencies, because the whole technological shift of trading mediums from offline to online, suddenly we have been forced to exercise multiple online transactions during the COVID period, and that's why, even due to the evolution of technology and accessibility of technology, more new methods of finance and technology have evolved, and this has also raised the challenges, not only practical challenges, it has also raised certain legal challenges. And in order to understand the legal as well as the practical issues in the transaction of cryptocurrency, the risk involved, and, and the assurities and protections, use of the cryptocurrency, because unless and until it is useful, it will not go far. And as it is going far with the existing challenges, so definitely there is lot of potential in it. And therefore, in order to understand the potential of the cryptocurrency along with the issues and challenges, we have with us Dr. Atul Khadse sir for explaining and throwing the lights upon the possible challenges and the solutions of it. I welcome you, Dr. Atul Khadse sir, for this webinar, and I would like to hand over mic to again Padma ma'am for introduction of honorable speaker of this session. Over to you, ma'am.
Can you start the introduction of Atul Khadse sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, sir. I, Kulin Vajpayee, student of PGDTL RTM Nagpur University, take extreme privilege to welcome our today's keynote speaker, Advocate Atul Khadse sir, on the topic cryptocurrency and legal challenges. Atul Khadse sir is a Mumbai-based legal professional currently working as Associate General Counsel for L'Oreal India. That is a very big company in cosmetic industries. Sir has worked with Hindustan Unilever for 5 years and also for Nagpur-based Nico Group of Industries for 3 years. Sir accomplished his Bachelor of Laws degree from Babasaheb Ambedkar College of Law, main branch, and LLM from our institute, that is Postgraduate Teaching Department of Law. After completing his PG diploma in cyber laws from ASCL Pune, that is Asian School of Cyber Laws, sir got enrolled with the Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa in 2003. And I am extremely privileged to know that sir is an alumni of our department. Sir was also a visiting faculty for PGDTL as well as GH Raisoni College of Engineering, Nagpur. Sir has been a regular speaker for Judicial Officers Training Institute, that is JOTI, as well as Fraud Detection Department FDD based in Nagpur. Last but not the least, Sir has conducted trainings and workshops exclusively ranging from cyber laws, environmental laws, women empowerment and enablement, Right to Information Act, and intellectual property rights. So now I call upon Dr. Advocate Atul Khadse sir to kindly give his crucial address. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Colin. Thanks a lot. And well, I welcome all the participants. I see a huge number of participants. It's a pleasure talking back to alma mater where I have studied my post graduation. The department is very close to my heart, and so are my participants today. I wholeheartedly thanks Dr. Payal Thaure ma'am for giving me this opportunity. Also, Dr. Girish and Padma ma'am for convening this. So I will be sharing my screen. Just okay. Can somebody make me a co-host so that I can just share my screen? I need to be present. I need to be made present. If you can just please.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just.
Yeah. Interim, I would request participant to make this a two-way conversation. I mean, I understand completely that webinars online are slightly different than that of a physical wherein we have one-to-one interaction. However, we will ensure that we will make this webinar also a two-way conversation rather than a one-way conversation wherein I'm just talking about the stuff. I would request or rather urge all of you to use the chat box and drop in your comments, queries, suggestions, concerns. So to start with, just let me know, how many of you are having your, or how many of you have actually purchased a cryptocurrency. If someone can, just, I got some, so I can read that Vivek has got some of them. So at least I can see that, okay, our audience is already well versed with, some of the members of the audience are well versed with cryptocurrency and coin switch, Kuber. Great. Okay, let me just share my screen now. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Sure. Sorry. So, thank you for writing in, and I will request Colin and Padma Madam to just keep an eye on the chat box and let me know and interrupt in between whenever they receive any query or a discussion point. This topic is very interesting. This is a topic which we cannot survive without. This is a topic which is a right time to know about. This is a topic which, if we try to avoid, probably we ourselves would be in losses. Cryptocurrency and the legal challenges. The word cryptocurrency itself is a genius thing. Today's agenda, we will try to cover as much as possible, given the fact that the topic is very vast and there are a lot of technicalities involved into it. There are a lot of flavors involved into it. It has a different fragrance everywhere. We'll still try to cover what exactly is cryptocurrency. So our first motive would be to understand what is cryptocurrency. We'll try to figure out what are the different types of cryptocurrency available in the market. And then we will understand the backbone of cryptocurrency, that is the blockchain technology, and what is mining. We'll not go into the nitty-gritties of it because it's quite a technical thing, but just to understand how and what platform cryptocurrencies work. Then some basic global challenges over cryptocurrency and the current legal regime in India around cryptocurrency. And obviously the conclusion part wherein everybody can exchange their thoughts in terms of whether or no this is a go ahead thing for us. So with your kind permission, we'll be starting. First and foremost thing is understanding cryptocurrency. I heard Dr. Girish Kulkarni saying it's a coin, which is very important. I heard Padma ma'am saying this is the need of our, and therefore we need to understand what exactly is cryptocurrency, why this is there in first place, what is that, and how it works. So let us decipher the word cryptocurrency in a very, very simple term. Cryptocurrency is a combination of two words, that is cryptography and currency. Now, cryptography is basically a process which actually converts a plain text into a unintelligible text. Now, cryptography is not new to us. Cryptography has been there since inception of humankind. Earlier, we used to call them code words, secret codes, something which I will write and only the person who is intended to know about it can read. And this cryptography was more prominent during wars, wherein a message was to be required to be sent into the field without the opponent letting know what exactly is written. And that point of time, the mechanism which was used to convert a readable language into a non-readable language or non-understandable language was called as cryptography. And cryptography is the backbone of digital signature, and that was acknowledged by Indian government when Information Technology Act 2000 came into place. So in simple word, it's basically encryption of a plain text into an unreadable format by use of hash function, or we call as a private key and public key. So what is currency? I mean, everybody knows currency, right? Everybody, you and me, understand currency, and obviously we are carrying it. So currency is a medium of exchange issued by government, generally in forms of coins or papers, which is for the purpose of goods and services. Either you buy goods or you buy services, and in exchange to that, you give currency. And cryptocurrency is a combination of cryptography and currency, where cryptocurrency is a digital asset designed to work as a medium of exchange. So it's a digital money designed to work as a medium of exchange that relies on decentralized network that facilitates peer-to-peer exchange of transactions secured by strong public key cryptography. Now, there might be a lot of technical jargons, public key cryptography, peer-to-peer exchange. It's very simple. What this definition is underlying is that it's a digital medium that relies on a decentralized network, and it's a transition between person to person directly without any intermediary by use of cryptography methods. That is the whole concept of cryptocurrency. Now, here there are a couple of things very interesting. Whether currency is synonymous to the word coin, or whether the word coin is synonymous to money, why it is not called as crypto money, why it is not called as crypto coin, and why it is called as cryptocurrency. And these are a lot of flavors which the topic cryptocurrency carries with it. Let us understand the evolution of money. And this is something we all have been privy to. We have read throughout our history subjects. We have been through this process. And every point of time, we have received some kind of surprises, and we have accepted and moved ahead with it. With evolution of Homo sapiens, barter system was there, but barter was not able to measure the value, and therefore it came to metal, silver and gold, which was substantial. Subsequently converted into metal coins. Metal coin converted into promissory notes, which we all carry, called as paper money. Subsequently, we had plastic cards, the evolution of Visa and MasterCard, and then electronic money. And I think most of us, in fact, rather all of us who are sitting on this call, must be using the electronic money, maybe in form of UPI, maybe in form of GPay, Paytm, Bheem, whatever. Now, when we are using electronic money today, and probably if you would have gone back in time when people were doing barter system and you would have told them to use UPI to make payment, probably they would have laughed. They would not have understood where you are coming from. But yes, humans have evolved over the time, and so has the concept of money evolved. We accepted metal coins, we accepted paper money. Surprisingly, we started accepting plastic cards, and now we are moved ahead from plastic cards. Now we are simply going to electronic money. The next thing for money is cryptocurrency. Now, whether it is legal or not, whether we will reach out there or not, whether people will accept it or not, is all part and parcel of discussion. Probably we will be discussing this today, but down the line, 3 years or 4 years, there will be another arrow after cryptocurrency and we'll be moving to something different. So every stage of life, humans have accepted the change. And today, it is calling us to accept the cryptocurrency. Now, we call it as a cryptocurrency, but there is a difference between money versus cryptocurrency. Most of the people, they confuse money with cryptocurrency, or rather currency. But there is fundamental difference between money and currency. They are not synonymous. Money serves as a medium of exchange, and it's an intangible consent. I can say that I have a lot of money in my bank account, but when I'm putting number to it, when I'm calculating, I'm holding it, it becomes a currency. Currency, on the other hand, is a promissory note. You open up your wallet, take out any paper money, and you will see that the RBI governor promises to pay you XYZ amount. That itself is a promissory note which you are carrying, which ensures that you will get the currency. And therefore, currency is tangible. irrespective whether it is money or whether it is currency, what is the fundamental basic thing which makes currency a value for exchange? There are two basic things. One is the primary function, second, and other is secondary function. So for any rock, metal, paper to have a value of a currency, it has to serve either a medium of exchange, the medium of exchange which will be accepted globally, medium of exchange which will be accepted between humans, and it also should carry the measure of value, whereby you will be able to value the goods or the services which you are going to procure against the money. Obviously, the secondary function comes, which are the standards of deferred payment, store of value. You can keep your money in your safes, transfer of value. You can transfer it to your colleagues. So basically, for any particular asset to be called as money or currency, it has to suffice two basic primary functions. That A, it has to be recognized as a medium of exchange globally, and also it should be calculable, which is there can be a measure of value to a goods or services against it. Now we will analyze whether this is there in the concept of e-money. Now, I'm not just talking about cryptocurrency. I'm just talking in general about your plastic cards, your EPIs, electronic monies, as well as the cryptocurrency. Now, these are all formats of electronic money. So, electronic money refers to currency electronically stored on the electronic system and digital database, which makes it easier to transact. Now, you and me all are using UPIs, Paytms. How are we doing? There are two ways of doing it. One is the centralized system, other is the decentralized system. Now, when I talk about a centralized system, there is an intermediary into it. So if you are using a Paytm app, your Paytm app becomes an intermediary. So there is an organization who knows who you are. You can store your money with them. And then there is X person who is also known to Paytm, who is also having an account. And then you can transfer your amount to that. So this entire system is run through an intermediary that is called as a centralized system. So many systems such as Paytm, GPay, wherein there is a transaction with the end user through the system, which acts as an exchanger, would be called as a centralized system. But very contrast to this, absolute contrast to this is a decentralized system, which is the backbone of cryptocurrency. The decentralized e-money or cryptocurrency is stored and flows through peer-to-peer computer network, which means that for the purpose of the cryptocurrency, if I have to transfer cryptocurrency to Dr. Girish, I don't need a bank. It's a one-to-one transfer. I have the money. With the help of internet, I'll just transfer the money. It's a peer-to-peer arrangement. Now, you may ask, if the bank is not involved, if the intermediary is not involved, then who is keeping the track of the transaction? Who is securing my money? So the decentralized system works in such a fashion that there is no requirement for one single bank or a person to keep a track of money. Everybody involved in that process of transfer acts as a maker checker, and they themselves keep a track. So no single user controls the network, everybody controls the network. And that controlling happens through blockchain. So decentralized system, in a way, is augmented to be a stronger system than that of a centralized system. Like most of you must be aware, in 2021 itself, there were 3 banks which went rogue, including Yes Bank, Raj Lakshmi Bank, and probably PNB. Now, what went wrong? People kept their money with the bank. It was a centralized system. However, because the control of affairs of the bank was with certain individuals, their bad decision left losses to the other holders. Obviously, because it's a centralized system, there are a few people who are holding the controlling mechanism. But when it comes to cryptocurrency, the beauty of cryptocurrency is that there is no group of individuals. It's everybody in the system who is connected via internet has a control over it. And there cannot be any tampering with the records. For the purpose of centralized system, since the operations happen within the wheel, there can be some tampering. But it is argued that on the decentralized system, there cannot be any tampering. Now, how this blockchain and everything works is a bit technical. We'll still have a look at it. Now, just let me know in the chat how many types of cryptocurrencies you might have heard. There are many. There are many. Most of the common cryptocurrency, all what we have heard is Bitcoin. Then there is Ethereum, Monero, Litecoin, Dogecoin, and so on and so forth. The question is whether all the cryptocurrencies are same. The answer is no. Not all cryptocurrencies are same. The Bitcoin, what we hear, is very different than that of Ether or Monero. Now, how different? It is basis the genes they bring with them. So just to give you a flavor of it, we will divide types of cryptocurrency into 3 buckets. The first bucket is currency. Okay, something which you exchange, store, you use for the payment system, you buy, you sell. That is all to be done with currency. So all those cryptocurrencies which are having this functionality, they would fall under the bucket of currency. Something as Bitcoin, Litecoin, Monero, etc. So they have a store of value, which means you purchase, you keep them in bank. They have their own value, which will be either increasing or decreasing given the volatility of market. Payment system. There are many companies who are accepting Bitcoin as a payment. For example, even KFC, you go to KFC, you pay by Bitcoin and you can order your food. So that's a medium of exchange. Now there are certain programs which are basically nothing but a platform which are providing certain solutions. And on this platform, as a basis of reward, there is a token. If there is a token which is used, and this kind of token is called as platform based currency. The biggest one is the Ethereum. So platform uses cryptocurrency to provide core infrastructure where blockchain based applications are built. Now blockchain applications are used for various purposes. I remember having this similar session exactly 1 year ago in our department, wherein we touched base upon blockchain technology through the concept of smart contracts. Gone are the days when we will be doing quantified contracts. Areas, industries where you require multiple number of contracts in a lesser number of time, which may be NBFCs, which may be banking, financial, fintech sectors, already smart contracts have come into existence. Now, the smart contracts, they are based upon an algorithm. For example, government announces a scheme that there is going, if it will not rain and if there is a loss of crop, then every farmer will get an amount of 5,000 rupees. Now, this is the premise. Now, government did not necessarily keep on checking whether there was a loss and whether the amount has to be given or not. There's an algorithm which is created on this particular platform. The number of users are listed on the platform. And the moment the details are fed that, okay, there was no rain, so much of losses has occurred, and therefore, as per the scheme, the amount has to be distributed. Within a click, the platform will enter into a smart contract wherein it will not require physical presence of the users to execute the contract, and on the mechanism of yes-no basis, it will allot the money. Now, those platforms which are providing this kind of value-added services, they use certain kind of tokens on their own platform, which are called as cryptocurrencies. So Ethereum is one of the platform-based cryptocurrency. And that is why there is a difference between Bitcoin and Ethereum. Similarly, Ripple, coming to the application. Now, these are again certain solution providers, very different to that of platform, very different to that of currency. Ripple is basically a platform, it's a software, it's an application which helps for cross-border remittances. So there is a person sitting in Ukraine, you need to send an amount now. The Ripple will arrange to do that. And in doing that, they will use a token which will be called as Ripple. So largely, to bucket cryptocurrencies, we can call cryptocurrencies are divided into cryptocurrencies, platform cryptocurrencies, and application cryptocurrencies. There are many other. Some will say that there are 4 types of cryptocurrencies. There is a theory of eight types of cryptocurrencies. Now, why this is important? Why this is important? Because tomorrow, assuming if you want to go ahead and invest into cryptocurrency, you need to study what kind of cryptocurrency you are investing into. Just because everybody is going for Bitcoin, you will go for Bitcoin. That doesn't work that way. If you are going for a Bitcoin, has a reason, because it is a currency. If you are into some kind of an application based, probably you can work with Ripple. And that is where this differentiation comes handy. So all cryptocurrencies are not similar. They are divided basis the value add they bring. And how many we have? So as on March 2022, there are over 18,000 cryptocurrencies in existence market. And the list is never ending. You just have to Google and you will find that almost a hell lot of cryptocurrencies are listed. And the prices are also mentioned. Now, the good part of the cryptocurrency is that you can do trading within a limited period of time. But when it comes to trading of cryptocurrency, it is 24/7 because there is no stock market. Now, let us understand Bitcoin. Bitcoin is very important. I'll just take a break here to check with Kulyan sir and Padma madam if there are any queries for now. We'll go ahead.
Yes, sir. So let me check. Yes, sir.
Sir, at the end of session, there will be a question and answer session, sir.
Sure, ma'am. Because I'm not able to see chat screen. So in case if there is anything, please do let me know. At the end of the session also we'll take, but we'll also can entertain here on the topic. So talking about cryptocurrencies, we understood what are the different buckets of cryptocurrencies. Very, very, very unique flavor of cryptocurrencies. But most of us have heard Bitcoin. People usually randomly ask, okay, are you into cryptocurrencies? Have you bought Bitcoins? What is Bitcoin? Again, we have already discussed cryptocurrencies are based on a decentralized digital currency. It's a decentralized digital currency, which is shared between peer-to-peer for the purpose of buying and selling. Now, what Bitcoin claims is that since inception of 2009, all the transactions, whatever transactions have happened, they are stored in their ledger, and the ledger is non-tamperable. It is irreversible. And the very strength of deriving this particular thing is the blockchain technology, because it is not dependent upon an intermediary. It is spread across all the people, all the blocks which are there in the systems. And blocks is nothing. It's just a techno-bubble word. Block is just a program. So blockchain is basically nothing but a sort of a public ledger which sits in everybody's computer. Now you remove the intermediary, and in place of intermediary, when I'm referring to intermediary for a layman purposes, the intermediary is nothing but a bank. When you remove the intermediary, in place of intermediary, intermediary provides you trust, right? I put money in ICICI, I put money in SDFC. Why? Because I probably assume and I trust these intermediaries. But how do I trust Bitcoin? I don't know who is the people who are behind it. I don't know who are managing the show. To answer that, cryptocurrencies, in more particularly in Bitcoin, these intermediaries are replaced by trust. Sorry. Sorry, my bad. There was some error. There is some huge disturbance outside. Okay, just please let me know if the screen is visible. My apologies, there is some
Yes, sir.
disturbance.
Yes, sir. Your screen
Okay.
is visible,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Screen is
for
visible,
confirming.
sir.
So, continuing our discussion on Bitcoin, uh, as I was saying that by removing intermediary, what Bitcoin brings is they bring the proof of trust. That is, all the ledgers are shared with across all the players, and entire transactions are encrypted by way of a public key and a private key. Now, who created Bitcoin? Now, this is a very unique question. Who created Bitcoins? Most of you might not be aware of this fact, and this is a very funny thing that Bitcoin came in the year 2008 until date. We are sitting in 2022. We don't know who created Bitcoin. And there have been a lot of theories around it. We might never know that somebody sitting in this participant group might be the creator of Bitcoins. So Bitcoin was first outlined by a gentleman called as Satoshi Nakamoto, a pseudonymous guy. He or she, we don't know, through a paper which was titled as Bitcoin Peer-to-Peer Electronic Cash System. And this paper is available on Google if you want to read it. It's an age-paid document. Satoshi, in that document, laid down the complete process of how Bitcoins will be working. What would be the proof of trust behind it? Why blockchain technology? Formulations, the calculations, the mathematics behind it. And it also mentioned that overall there can be only 21 million, 21 million thousand bitcoins ever. There cannot be more. Now, some people say that okay, Satoshi Nakamoto was maybe a Finnish sociologist or a mathematician from Israel. Some refer Mr. Dorian Nakamoto as Satoshi Nakamoto, who was also a science student and had published a paper. Craig Wright, he also released a paper with the same time stamping when the Bitcoin peer-to-peer electronic cash system paper was released. So there have been a lot of discussion. But however, matter of the fact remains, we still don't know who is Satoshi Nakamoto, the creator of Bitcoin. And this person has never come in front of public. People went to the extent of saying that, okay, probably Elon Musk is also the Satoshi Nakamoto. However, we don't know. And very funny thing, rather Elon Musk last week tweeted this particular uh, image, and he said that probably Satoshi Nakamoto is nothing but a combination of four companies, that is Samsung, Toshiba, Nakamichi, and Motorola. Come what may, as I speak to you, it still remains a secret that who is the person who actually started Bitcoins. The person communicated couple of times, and lastly the person said that now he is leaving this to others and he is moving out of it, and thereafter this person was never ever heard of. Now, whether bitcoins are really worth, the funniest part, 2008, the paper came. 2009, first time Bitcoin was listed. 2010, one Bitcoin was rupees 2.85. How much it was? 2.85 rupees. 2 रुपए 85 पैसे. That 2.85 rupees, अगर आपने तब 2010 में डाले होते, if you would have invested 2010 in one Bitcoin, today that cost of 285 would have been 29,73,000. And let me tell you, as I speak to you today, the rates have fallen down, the drop. This has actually touched more than 47 lakhs. So a simple person, if you or me would have invested, say 10,000 rupees, just 10,000 rupees in 2010 in one Bitcoin, in the Bitcoin, today we would have received somewhere between 60 to 65 CR. And that's the beauty of Bitcoin. It's a number game. Now the blockchain, we talked about Bitcoin. We talked a lot about Bitcoin, that they have removed intermediaries, and the base is the blockchain, the blocks. Now how it works is very simple. One time the transaction is done. Once a transaction is done, that entry is called as a block. And once that entry is passed on to the another person, there is a hash, that entry is encrypted. Once that entry is encrypted, it is passed on to the another person. Again, that entry is encrypted, and further entry is encrypted. So every entry is automatically encrypted, and therefore it is impossible to tamper or change any of the entry, because even if you try to change one of the entry, the entire link will break. And that is why they say that as far as the blockchain technology is concerned, it is more secure than that of your traditional centralized mechanism. And the people who actually do this part of doing the checking the hash of the previous block and passing on to the next person in the line, they are called as miner. So these miners, they get some reward out of the Bitcoin, and there are companies who have actually set up huge warehouses with superpower computers, which keep on running the ledgers throughout the day, and they keep on checking the validity of every block which they receive to check whether it is genuine or not, and accordingly they do the transactions. And when they do this transaction, they get some amount of the transaction, which is called as mining. So blockchain and mining are the backbone of cryptocurrencies. Now we talked about Bitcoin. Other than Bitcoin, there is a lot of cryptocurrencies. We definitely actually we looked into of bucketing of cryptocurrencies, currency, platform, utility. So one of the very famous currencies again is Ethereum. It's based on a platform-based thing. Then we have Ripple, which is basically a global settlement network, which helps us to set of settlements in several currencies. It may be euro, it may be GBP, it may be USDs. And once you do the exchanges or global settlements through this, the miner will get a reward in terms of Ripple. Monero is again a very secure, private, and untraceable currency. Litecoin was an alternative to Bitcoin, which was on a lighter node in terms of not requiring larger hardwares. So lot of currency, and we can talk independently about every currency. But these are the major cryptocurrencies, and as I already mentioned, there are more than 18,000 currencies already. So why cryptocurrencies are so much evaluated? What's the benefit of it? Now, cryptocurrency differentiate themselves from the traditional flat currencies. They are decentralized. They don't need a bank. They don't need a person. They don't need a group of people. Everybody in the system knows what is going on. Everybody in the system has a ledger of it. Free of entry barrier. I don't need to be a UK citizen to open an account in UK. I can just simply sit or buy something from UK in terms of cryptocurrency, and I can send the money. Not susceptible to controls by national government. Nobody controls cryptocurrency. It's an open currency. It's globally usable. Again, you don't need to know a person. You can send, you can buy from anybody, anywhere from the earth. And that's why it is a globally usable currency. Intermediary free currency, it provides an efficient means of storage because it's digital. You don't need lockers, you don't need plastic, you don't need wallet. Everything just lies on it. And efficient transfer of value across the globe. All your transaction happens in max to max 5 to 10 minutes. 5 to 10 minutes because the blocks are to be verified by the miners. But for sure, this is faster as compared to your centralized currencies, which takes at least 3 to 5 days or a week to transfer. And that is where for sure the cryptocurrencies differentiate themselves and they stand above tall. Advantages: financial inclusion, security, value added services which they bring, and the use of transactions. It's very easy, quick, cheap. You just download an app, and you can buy cryptocurrency. For buying a share, you need to have at least a meager amount of the share value. For example, if it's a Hindustan Unilever share which is costing you 2,500 rupees, you need to minimum have 2,500 rupees to buy one share. But when it comes to Bitcoin, the cost is 30 lakh rupees for one Bitcoin. But even if you have 10 rupees, you can buy some 0.0000 point percentage of that Bitcoin. So it's easy, it's quick, and it's cheap. Financial inclusion, no dependence upon intermediary, everything connected through your mobile, everything connected through net, and you are done. Value added services, you can do a lot of global transfer from one currency to another currency, used not only as a currency but also as a value added platform. And that is why there are a lot of advantages of cryptocurrency. But we spoke a lot about the advantages, the easiness of the cryptocurrencies, but there are certain underlying risks also. And the risks are volatility, money laundering issues, lack of government oversight, and collateral security risk. Biggest thing is that it has a high volatility in a short run. Money laundering issue. Money laundering issue, because there is no control of any government on cryptocurrencies, these are easily shared across the territory, and that is why there is a lot of issue and rush around money laundering. According to a AAA research, more than 18,000 businesses accept cryptocurrency payment in 2021. So irrespective of the risk, there are many biggest brands who are accepting crypto payments. Brands like Coca-Cola, brands like KFC, brands like Burger King may not be in India, but the countries where cryptocurrency is allowed or trading is allowed, they are accepting crypto payments. And that's the ease. So what are the legal issues around cryptocurrency? We spoke a lot about the benefits of cryptocurrency. You understood what exactly is the cryptocurrency, how it is bucketed, what is blockchain, what is mining. But what are the legal issues? And there are certain global legal issues, because since there are no international barriers, there are no barriers, it's a free trade. There are certain legal issues which are global legal issues. And one of the biggest thing is contractual issues. The biggest thing is simple. If I have to open up an account, I go to bank does the KYC. Bank knows who I am. My details are with bank. But in case of blockchain, when we are talking about smart contracts, the system executes millions of contracts in less than 1 minute. And that is where the contractual issues come. Whether the smart contracts are legally valid. For a contract to be valid, there has to be an offer, then acceptance, and an acknowledgement. However, when we talk about smart contracts, there are no independent parties. It's just an algorithm. And therefore, the very genesis of contract in terms of offer, acceptance, and acknowledgement is very unclear. So contractual issues is one of the biggest legal issues surrounding cryptocurrency. And when we talk about international free trade, jurisdiction. If I have to send a notice under Negotiable Instrument Act, probably 5-place jurisdiction, where the drawer resides, where the drawee resides, where the bank resides, where the check was bounced, and blah, blah, blah. But when you talk about cryptocurrencies, the transaction is recorded with everybody in the chain, and there may be millions of people whose system will be attached, and this ledger will be sitting there. So how do you justify jurisdictional issue? You can end up purchasing coins from XYZ who is sitting in Canada, and you can sell it somewhere in Portugal. So jurisdictional issue is one of the biggest legal issues surrounding cryptocurrencies. Money laundering, it has become the easiest hawala way to issue money. I can transfer bitcoins to XYZ in another country, and in return, the person whom I am transferring the cryptocurrency will actually use it for the darker market. And that is why money laundering is one of the key concerns in cryptocurrencies. Data theft and financial fraud. We talked a lot about the blockchain, that how blockchain promises anonymity and how secure it is because it uses the encryption methodology. However, it is not the case that people have not tried to hack or break this chain and commit financial frauds. In fact, in one of the cases, more particularly for India, a gentleman from Pune, he started his own cryptocurrency and he committed a fraud of almost some 2000 CR on cryptocurrency. So even though it's an algorithm, even though there is a lot of encryption mechanism into it, but still wherever there exists any data, personal data, an account data, financial data, there is always a sword of data theft and financial fraud. And since it is not governed through any country or rules and regulation, that's the biggest thing. I think another 5 minutes will quickly close. Tax implications. Since again, this is a trade-free transactions happening across the countries, there are a lot of tax implications. Who will tax what is not yet clear. Recently, you might have heard India has started taxing the cryptocurrency transactions. Now, question is, if I'm doing some transactions in UK, whether I'll be governed by Indian transactions, Indian taxation, or I'll be governed by UK transactions. This again is not very clear. IPR ownership against the coins, controlling, tracking the distribution. This is not at all figured out. And intellectual property is again a bigger issue. Now, these are the global issues what we are talking around the cryptocurrency, right? Obviously, with this, the cryptocurrency should also qualify what money is. It has to be a medium of exchange, it has to be a unit of account, and it has to have the value which stays stable. However, we know that in Bitcoin, the currency's value is not staying stable. There are huge fluctuations, and until the fluctuation goes less, generic acceptance of cryptocurrency as a currency or a commodity might not happen. Again, there are many countries who are struggling to acknowledge whether cryptocurrency is a currency or a commodity. So currency commodities are also different. They are not synonymous to each other. Now, just quickly, we will just glance through what is the legal regime of cryptocurrency in India. Because at the end of this session, a question might come to me and wherein you will ask me that whether cryptocurrency is legal in India, whether we should be investing in cryptocurrency, whether I should give a try to cryptocurrency. And therefore, it is important to understand what is the legal regime. Now, there is no law around cryptocurrency as of now. Obviously, there are a couple of laws which are existing, like payment and settlement system. But again, payment is the act defines prepaid payment and instrument, and therefore cryptocurrencies are not stable and they fluctuate. And therefore, since they are not stable, they will not fall under the Payment and Settlement System Act. Similarly, for Negotiable Instrument Act, again, negotiable instrument says that it has to be a promissory note, a bill of exchange, a check payable either to order or bearer. Now here, those characteristics are not attached because there is no promissory note. It's a digital asset which is being shifted to one to another instantly. You can't go to bank and encash the money against the promissory note. No. the Coinage Act, it means any coins made of metal, stamped, legal tender issued by the government. More particularly, this is something which is all tangible, which can be felt upon. Whereas Bitcoin is concerned, since it doesn't have government approval yet, it's not a legal tender, and neither can you feel it. It's just a notional amount there. Securities contract regulation, again, it defines securities, but the securities which are backed by government sanction. In our case, unfortunately, cryptocurrencies are still not considered as legal tender, and therefore the current regulation fails to acknowledge it. RBI, for RBI also, cryptocurrency will not fall into the act. Similarly, the remaining FEMA and Indian Copyright Act, there may be certain nuances of it under the Copyright Act, because it's a program, it's a computer program which can be, copyrighted, machine in a machine readable language, blah blah blah. But it's more for a source code and object code thing, and not for cryptocurrencies as it was thought for. And therefore, it is still challenged under the Indian legal regime to bring cryptocurrencies. Information Technology Act does talk about the cryptography, but it talks about cryptography more particularly for the digital signature purposes, wherein the public key and the private key comes into picture with a hash function to encrypt a document, which gives the sanctity to the legal document, but not to the currency. So overall, when you look at it, the existing laws, they fail to acknowledge cryptocurrency as a legal tender. RBI issued a circular in 2018 and thereby prohibited all financial institutions to deal with cryptocurrency. Now, that was a bad day for cryptocurrency in India. Everybody was at the back foot. So members of Indian cryptocurrencies community, they challenged it before the courts, and the courts considered, or rather asked RBI to allow it, because it was violating the fundamental right under Article 40. Similarly, recently you might be aware that our Honorable Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, they taxed cryptocurrency in the budget of 2022. Now, while taxing cryptocurrency, the stand was very clear that we still do not recognize the legal tender or the legal sanctity of cryptocurrency. However, the government was very sharp in doing this, that if there is any loss, the loss belongs to completely you. But if there is any profit, then you need to share some portion of profit with the government. And the government taxed 30% as an interest if there is any profit, 1% on every transaction, and if in case of there is any losses, it's completely to the person concerned. The contrary to this, in spite of the fact that it was just taxed but not acknowledged, a step closer to adopting cryptocurrencies has been taken. Because the moment RBI taxes something, they cannot tax something which is illegal. And therefore, in a way, in subtle manner, RBI has acknowledged that there is existence of cryptocurrencies. To the extent that RBI also mentioned that starting April 1, probably they would start to tax on any transaction on the virtual asset, and sooner they will also come with the government cryptocurrency. Now, with this, when the government also acknowledged cryptocurrency in a way of taxation, not the legal taxation, but in a way of the taxation part of it, what's the conclusion? What's in the cryptocurrency for me? The moment government taxed it, the players in the market who are into the business of crypto, they said crypto just became legal in India. Indian government has cleared confusion in form of crypto asset tax law. Obviously, government would never ever tax something which is illegal. So if the government has taxed crypto, which means that the government has given a thought to cryptocurrencies. So with this entire legal regime, as of now, if you ask me a question, whether should I invest into cryptocurrencies or whether should I play around cryptocurrencies, should I also see what exactly is cryptocurrency, there is a very basic fundamental principle which is called as DYOR, which means do your own research. It just says that fine, you want to buy, you want to sell, you want to trade, do it. But before that, study. And this studying of the different types of nature of coins, cryptocurrencies, in terms of whether it's a currency, whether it's a platform based, whether it's a value added based, whether it's a science based or utility based, that will help you to make decisions. Just don't go with a simple source that, okay, I'm purchasing Bitcoin and therefore you should also purchase. Make sure you do your own due diligence and then invest into cryptocurrency. I think this topic is something which we can continue for almost a day. It's a burning topic, and it's a right time that we should be aware about the nuances of cryptocurrency. However, I think I've already surpassed the time. My apologies for that, but this is something which was very important to be discussed. If you have any questions, my email ID is flashed. I'll be more happy to have your questions right away in the chat box. So I'll stop sharing and I'll see if there are any questions. I again thank you, the PGTT department, for giving me this opportunity, Dr. Payal madam, and the conveners for arranging this very wonderful, very important topic, the discussion of cryptocurrency and the legal challenges around it.
Sir, there is a question in the chat box.
Yes, please.
Sir, Mr. Manohar Gajbi has asked, is cryptocurrency real or fake in India?
Okay. So very unique question. Thank you, Mr. Manohar Gajbe, for asking this question, whether cryptocurrency is real or fake in India. Now, as I said, cryptocurrency is global. It's a trade free. It's a border free, and therefore, whether or not in India, the question is whether it is real or fake. This is something which, again goes back to the same principle that DYOR, do your own research, because as I say that there are more than 18,000 cryptocurrencies available as on now to deal with, but definitely out of them many are fraud as well. And if you Google, you will come to know a case which has happened in Pune only, wherein the gentleman actually created his own cryptocurrency and he floated that. The moment he made money, he just actually shut down his entire business. To cut short answer, today cryptocurrency exists. We will have to understand how the cryptocurrency is positioned, under what bucket, how many people are dealing into it, doing some study around it, and then taking a call whether to deal with it or not. It's a pure gamble to say as of now, until there is any authority under which the cryptocurrency makers will have to register themselves. This remains an open question. So the due diligence, independent individual due diligence, will be one which will be helpful to answer this thing. But yes, Bitcoin started in 2008. We are in 2022, and you can see the rise and the fall of Bitcoin, and people are trading it. I've also mentioned, there are companies which are accepting the payment. So cryptocurrency is not totally fake. There is real cryptocurrency as well. Okay.
Yes, sir. So there is also a question from our student, Pratibha Gupta. She has asked that is cryptocurrency and Bitcoin are same or different?
Okay. So I think by now you must have received this answer. I explained categorically that Bitcoin and cryptocurrency are not same. Bitcoin is a form of a cryptocurrency. There are various cryptocurrencies. There are different types of cryptocurrencies, and Bitcoin is one of its type. There is Ethereum, there is Monero, there is there is Dogecoin, and there are n number of it. But what happens is, when we say, a generic word, something like, okay, go and get a Bisleri, we don't intend to have Bisleri, we just intend to have mineral water. It can be of any other brand, but it has so become common that we just say Bisleri. Similarly, because Bitcoin was the first to enter into this area, through its originator Satoshi Nakamoto, who has never ever appeared, the Bitcoin has become synonymous with cryptocurrency, and therefore, Bitcoin is definitely different from cryptocurrency. Bitcoin is a part of cryptocurrency, and there are larger types of cryptocurrencies available. Okay.
Yes, sir. So one last question from Harish sir. Sir, he is asking that how to check the authenticity of the Bitcoin or other cryptocurrency, as trading is going on CoinDCX and other platforms. So how can a user can check its authenticity, sir?
Okay. So again, thank you, Mr. Harish, for asking this question. Unfortunately, as we speak, there is no specific straitjacket formula or a principle wherein we can identify that, okay, if the particular currency tick boxes these parameters, it is authenticate. For the very reason, because there is no intermediary, there is no KYC done, to the extent that you and me sitting together, we can also create a cryptocurrency and float it. What is the credibility of it? Credibility is the longevity of time in which the cryptocurrency is dealt with. So to find out whether cryptocurrency, what is the authenticity, probably certain research around it, that who are the people who are backing up that particular cryptocurrency, what are the investor into it, because for starting cryptocurrency, there will be always certain group of investors. And in most of the cases, whether it is Ethereum, whether it is Monero, whether it is Litecoin, whether it is Dogecoin, you will find that there are investors who have actually come together and started this particular asset. And when you do certain research around the investor, you will automatically figure out that whether the investors are genuine or not. Like, for example, Dogecoin is something which belongs to Elon Musk. He had tweeted that it is good, and the Dogecoin went and surpassed the skies. And that is how the person who is behind that coin or person who is behind that asset brings the credibility. And that is the way to measure the authenticity as of now, until there is some regulation which governs cryptocurrency.
Sir, one more question from Pratibha, madam. So
is there any litigation filed or decided in India?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, Pratibha madam, thank you for asking this question, and very important question. There are litigations. Let me tell you, there are litigation, not very celebrated one, because there are a lot of people who are actually not very happy with cryptocurrency, the environment in together as such. And we are at a very novice stage. More particularly as an Indians, we will not jump around new technologies unless my person who's sitting right and left next to me is also interested. I won't be interested. So when this becomes a dinner talk, when this becomes a chai tapri talk, then only I'll be interested. And therefore, there are not many users as far as cryptocurrency is concerned in India. But in terms of litigation, yes, there are very many litigations filed. One of the litigation references which I gave you, wherein in 2018, when RBI brought about a circular and banned all the transaction on the cryptocurrency, there was a community on India cryptocurrency. It went ahead along with a company probably called as some name as Kali something. They challenged it before the Supreme Court, and Supreme Court had to upheld that right to free occupation is something which is guaranteed under Article 14, and therefore cryptocurrency are allowed, or digital assets are allowed. Similarly, as I said, criminal cases have happened. In Pune, there were many people who were duped by investing into cryptocurrency, and the gentleman, he was actually he fled out of India. Then he was subsequently captured. His name is Deshmukh, if I remember. The matter is still on, and as I know, the last update, he is out on bail. ED has seized all the properties, and this is what. So there have been litigations around it, but it depends which area you are asking, and probably given the fact that this is a very new area, most of the information is available on Google only rather than on the judgment books. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Couple of things I can see, madam, if you allow me. Like Vinay has asked, Indian
Yes,
tax
yes,
has been
yes.
imposed. Yeah, Indian tax has been imposed, whether that means currency is legal in India. So when I said that government did not want to acknowledge the cryptocurrency, but government did also wanted to have a share of it. A very very smart move by government. That okay, हम नहीं पहचानते तुम हो, लेकिन अगर तुमने प्रॉफिट बनाया तो मुझे देना पड़ेगा, लॉस तुम्हारा है. But the matter of the fact remains that government will never ever acknowledge illegal things, right? The moment we go by this principle, which means that the moment government has decided to put certain tax on cryptocurrency, they know that cryptocurrencies are here to stay. The blockchain is a technology which will be here to stay, and that is why they have put up this tax up to 30%, which is a huge tax. To the extent, even if I gift say 1 Bitcoin to Padma madam, even then she will be taxed. So even in gift, government is earning out of it. For transaction, I need to pay 1%. So definitely, today government has tracked cryptocurrency, and let me tell you, probably in a year or max to max 2 years, Indian government will bring out its own cryptocurrency.
It means we can say that this is the step towards acceptance. है ना?
Yes, this is a positive approach. Rightly
Acceptance
said.
of cryptocurrency in India. है ना?
Right.
So, thank you, sir. Philip, over to you, please. The participants, please turn on your camera. We have to take a peek. Please turn on your cameras. So, participant, the feedback form is posted in your chat box. So please fill the feedback form for getting the certificates. Okay. Colleen?
Yes, ma'am. The snaps have been collected, ma'am. I thank you, sir, for your insightful information, and I call upon now Miss Annie Adharika to convey her vote of thanks. Thank you, sir.
Very good morning to all. On behalf of Postgraduate Teaching Department of Law, Rashtrasan Tuktoji Maharaj, Nagpur University, I, Annie Adharika, is glad to express my vote of thanks. A special thanks to our chief guest, Mr. Atul Khadse sir, for accepting our invitation and for being here with us today. Your insights on cryptocurrency and legal challenges has really helped us and clear our concepts. I also thank Dr. Payal Thaure ma'am, head of the department, for always supporting and guiding us, and all our respected teachers and students of the department for joining us today. Thank you once again to all.
Thank you, Annie.
Thank you so much, sir, for enlightening us the most burning and we can say that the controversial topic that is cryptocurrency. So, from very much when Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman declared the tax system, so there is a lot of curiosity regarding this concept, regarding this cryptocurrency, sir. So thank you so much for enlightening us and for giving so much information regarding cryptocurrencies. So
Thank you, ma'am. It's
participants,
been again pleasure. I mean, talking to PGTD law is something which is very close to my heart.
yes, sir, yes, sir, yes.
I know every inch and corner of the building. I truly
Yes,
miss
yes.
it. Hope to see you, catch you someday when the things are getting normal, back to normal. Thank you for
Yes,
having
sir.
me on the call. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, sir.
Thank you.
Participants, please fill the feedback form. It is essential for the certificates.